We come now to the Special Recognition Award, which honours a unique contribution to television. This year's recipient has had a stunning career spanning more than 50 years. Ironically, he was turned down when he first applied for a job in broadcasting, but he went on to become the acknowledged master of his chosen field. His enthusiasm, his undisputed expertise, and his sheer brilliance as a broadcaster have won for his work some of the biggest audiences ever for factual programmes, and for him, international acclaim. To tell us a little more, we're pleased to welcome someone who's flown all the way from Australia to be with us tonight. The news of her husband's tragic accident released an extraordinary outpouring of grief in his home country and then around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome the wife of Steve Irwin, Terri Irwin.
Thank you, Sir Trevor. I promised I wasn't going to cry. Please forgive me for reading from notes. Crikey, this is a big crowd. I'm especially pleased to be here because if there's one person who directly inspired my husband, it's the person being honored tonight. Of course, as a television wildlife presenter, Steve Irwin was larger than life. But his real, true love... His real, true love was conservation, and the influence of tonight's recipient in preserving the natural world has been immense. He understands the creatures we share the world with and has spent a lifetime reminding us that those creatures rely on us to protect their future. He was an inspiration to Steve and remains an inspiration to all of us who cherish life on Earth.
Terri, thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are still wondering who our recipient is, then take a look at this.
Well, if you're going to take an intelligent interest in any subject, you really need to be aware of the issues involved. And no one has done more than Sir David Attenborough to explain the facts of life of this planet to more people around the world. His work has influenced politicians and administrators, which has made it possible for so much to be done for the conservation of nature. I think it would be difficult to exaggerate the contribution which Sir David Attenborough has made to the understanding of life on Earth.
This is the loneliest and the coldest place on Earth. It's so hot that no creature can survive permanently. I'm in Iceland, and I'm on the island of South Georgia, 200 miles south of Java in the Indian Ocean.
I think David Attenborough is massive. He really has shown us a totally new view of nature and enabled us to see things that we would never have seen before and taken us to places that we couldn't even imagine.
I don't think there are many people who've watched television who haven't at some stage seen a David Attenborough programme. It's extraordinary.
There is more meaning and mutual understanding in exchanging a glance with a gorilla than any other animal I know. The most important job is persuading people that the natural world is complex and wonderful and one of the most precious things we have. You can see its tail just under my boat here. And it's coming up, There! The blue whale.
For me, he's the main man. He's generated so much interest in the natural world and animals, not just for scientists such as myself, but for the general public as a whole.
He really inspired me to sort of go into working with animals and really gave me sort of a passion for animals.
If you see the programmes where he's kind of halfway up a tree in a rainforest, or the caves with the bats flying around.
Well, pneumonia is really quite choking.
You know, the conditions that he's working in, they're horrendous. But he's so keen to get the message across. He puts himself in the firing line.
No doubt. Oh. So now the main task is avoiding danger and remaining alive during this very difficult period when an animal is almost defenceless. So the ability to fight is needed by animals of all kinds. Can't help jumping. That was a trapdoor spider.
David has got this boyish enthusiasm, and he's as keen and enthusiastic about what he's doing now as he was 50, 60 years ago when he started.
I was pretty sure I wanted to be investigating the natural world in some way. And, you know, I did all the things that small boys do, you know, keeping tanks of fish and keeping grass snakes and, you know, keep doing it.
I see David Attenborough as a pioneer of the brave new world of television. Starting right at the beginning, he is himself a marvel of evolution. He has evolved as a presenter along with television itself.
Is that one of them will be driving the colobus ahead of him.
In my work presenting programmes about bushcraft, I always remember the first time I actually had to deliver a piece to camera in the jungle. I had no idea how difficult it was when the humidity and the heat work against you. You know, he makes it look so easy.